down. So that's what we, the people, voted for, of course, on November 5th. Speaking of we, the people, stepping up in a big way in Western North Carolina. When the mainstream media decides not to cover a story or not really tell you what's really happening on the ground, conservative media, we the people, band together. That's exactly what happened. You're going to meet Johnny Rowlett and his wife Gale. They have a ministry together. Johnny also is a country artist. He played some great music at the Opry in Nashville. But also they went to Western North Carolina twice in the past few months to help out people in that affected region. Here's a portion of the video that Johnny has put out there on YouTube.
First of all, number one, everybody's going to be asking, why were you here? You had no idea.
No clue.
Right?
This is my first year here, and everyone told me that I was on the high ground and that the water would just maybe get underneath my trailer. We may lose power for about 10 to 12 hours. Everything will be fine. I can handle that.
Yeah.
And I saw a giant sheet of the road come up and just disappear.
The pavement.
Yes. That road that was up there, yes.
Oh my God.
And it disappeared. And that's when I realized I'm not going anywhere. So at first I noticed that my vehicles were kind of sheltering me from the water. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's one reason I wasn't too worried about it. Because if they hadn't been there, the water would have been up to my window at least. And I was looking at that the other day on the videos. I'm like, wow, like I didn't realize how high the water. I was thinking, how did it not, you know? And I'm looking in the front, and I'm just like, okay. So I started doing the math, and I'm like, well, it would have been up to my window had those vehicles not been there. So
and then, the debris that got.
As you know, President Trump was quick to visit the Asheville area as soon as he could to help where he can. Still on his mind, of course, and with Team Trump when it comes to the people of Western North Carolina. You saw one of them there on the right. On the left, that was Johnny Rowlett. He and his wife, Gale, are the ones that went to Western North Carolina twice to visit the people. Here's that interview. Joining us right now is Johnny and Gale Rowlett from Michigan. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Right Side.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Matthew.
Definitely, definitely. So, Johnny, tell us about the North Carolina trips. I mean, 2 trips to Western North Carolina. It seems like the mainstream news media, they kind of back off, but you guys went in. Tell us about it.
Well, we just happened to be there on tour in Statesville, North Carolina, and found when all this kind of went down. And then my wife was just emphatic that we're not leaving here till we make some kind of an impact and make a difference. And we happen to have quite a bit of contacts in those areas, so we just wanted to get boots on the ground, get in there, and help out as fast as we could.
And Gale, tell us about that. It seems like you didn't have a second thought. You guys both just said, we have to help.
Right, exactly. So that is what I love to do. I actually love to go and help people in different positions and situations throughout their life or throughout the country. I've noticed in history that whenever something catastrophic happens, the news focuses on it for about 1 minute and then it kind of moves on. And so I wanted to go there, put boots on the ground, and see really what was going on. And because a lot of times people can paint the picture a little bit differently than what it is. So I wanted to see for myself, but also seeing all the devastation, and just wanted to, come together and just do something.
Yeah.
Johnny, can you talk to us about the video that you posted? I mean, that was a lot of damage. What was it like for you personally to see that damage there? And then also how the stars aligned that you were already performing in that area, outside of that area, and then there you are helping people in a time of need.
Yeah, I think one of the great things is we had the contact of the cowboy pastor from West Jefferson, North Carolina, and he was able to tell us what exactly he needed on a daily, moment by moment basis. And then we would put him in the truck and just drive up into the mountains, and really the damage that we saw was much greater than what we could even imagine. And then what we were specifically doing is driving, looking for people that were out working, trying to, and then just getting out of the truck and helping them, bringing them chainsaws and tools and food and whatever we could bring them to help them in that immediate moment. Because the first time we went up there, it was about just rescue and dealing with the catastrophe of it all, and just kind of just reeling from it. And we were able to say, okay, let's help you with this right now, right here.
And so it seems like what we're seeing is we the people stepping up regardless of what else is happening out there, right?
Right. Yes, absolutely. It is amazing to see people working together as a community, people coming from all over the nation, bringing RVs for people to live in, bringing heaters, bringing blankets,
generators.
Now that we're in this cold season, people are freezing, so they're needing all these things, and people from all over the nation, whether they order it on Amazon and have it drop shipped or they bring it themselves, semis full of stuff. It is really amazing to see all the people working together.
Yeah, and you're talking about you just standing out there. And at the second time we went up, we kind of helped. We were part of a place called Camp Miller in Pensacola, North Carolina, and you would see guys coming in from Idaho and Montana and California, and they're redneck cowboy, hard iron workers, construction guys, and they're bringing in whatever, skid steers and backhoes and excavators and just their abilities and their talents, and just showing up. And it was like watching what America is supposed to be.
Right.
That's awesome. It's awesome to hear that. And we've heard various reports of that going on, but to hear it from you guys, since you guys were actually there twice in Western North Carolina during the fall. On top of that, what were your thoughts about Elon Musk and Starlink being sent there for communications? How awesome was that?
That was
huge.
Such a huge godsend, because most of the cell towers were taken out.
Yeah.
And so people didn't have any contact with the outer world at all to let them know I'm alive or I'm not alive, or this is my need or help or anything. They couldn't get any communication to anyone. And so it was a huge impact in that area.
Just in Camp Miller alone, that we were able to help be a part of the organization. They had like a tent set up and big TVs and computers, and we were able to pinpoint where people were all over the map and be able to send out teams on a moment by moment basis. And none of that would have been possible without Starlink.
That's awesome. It's awesome to hear that. Thank you guys for joining us here on Right Side, as we want the narrative to continue to be true, in the sense of, hey, if the mainstream media is not going to cover stories, conservative media will, because this is what's happening in Western North Carolina. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Thank you, Matthew, for having us. God bless America.
Amen.